In this last week of April 2026, Google's servers nearly melted from the sheer volume of searches for the new Michael Jackson biopic. People are leaving theaters in tears, in awe, writing massive threads online about how Jaafar Jackson is his uncle's reincarnation. Look at that genetic talent. What an incredible makeup job. Disney. Oops, I think I got a bit carried away there. But what they're giving a standing ovation to isn't just genetics, it's an army of GPUs running rendering algorithms. People paid to see the most expensive and successful deepfake in history. I'm Alice Atinelly, and today I'm going to explain how Hollywood finally figured out how to turn actors into puppets, and why the movie star profession is more threatened than ever after this brilliant Michael film. Let's get to the facts, because I know you love it when I shatter illusions with the truth hidden behind the scenes. The production of the film didn't just rely on face powder and wigs to make Jaafar look like Michael Jackson in the 80s and 90s. They hired Lola VFX. For those who don't speak Hollywood nerd, Lola is the company responsible for making Brad Pitt be born old and Benjamin Button, slimming down Captain America, and taking 30 years off Harrison Ford's tired face in the last Indiana Jones. No, that's the game. There we go. But what they did in the Michael movie raised the stakes to a completely different level. Imagine a film director wanting to make an actor look like Michael Jackson without needing any plastic surgery or even skin pigmentation. He feeds an AI every image, video, concert, and interview of Michael Jackson that exists on the planet. The artificial intelligence studies every pore, every muscle contraction, every shadow on his nose under every possible lighting condition. Then, he films the actor dancing on the set. The actor provides the skeleton, the movement, the sweat. He's the mannequin. And then the computer takes all that knowledge it learned about Michael and paints the original face over the mannequin's face. But Alice, doesn't that look weird? Doesn't it look like a video game? Not if you have DLSS 5 and path tracing. Okay, I'll stop. That right there is called the Uncanny Valley, a concept that says the more a robot or animation looks like a human, the more empathy people feel for it, until it reaches a point where the replica is almost perfect.
No! God, please, no! No!
But something is missing. The soul is missing. And that's where the brain short circuits and feels repulsion. It's a defense mechanism to identify corpses or sick people. For years, Hollywood tried to cross this valley and failed miserably.
What's that?
But in 2026, the technology has become so efficient that the brain can no longer detect the fraud. The digital glint in the eye now reflects the actual light from the set. People look at the screen and their instincts are hacked. They swear that Digital Ghost is alive. And this is where the story stops being about the king of pop and starts being about the end of an era in Hollywood. Do you remember the actors and writers' strike back in 2023? The union stopped the entertainment world because studio owners wanted to scan background actors, pay them for one day's work, and use their digital replica for eternity in any movie, without paying another cent. But we're talking here about studios that are buying up all the material, the ones who are actually doing exactly what the actors and writers who are against AI demanded. And now what? What are they going to protest? What we're seeing in 2026 isn't just a tribute to a famous singer. It's a global scale test. Sony and the big studios are measuring whether the paying public cares if the face on the screen is real or not. And judging by the box office and the praise for the acting, the public doesn't give a damn. Acceptance has validated the technology. In the coming years, actors won't be hired for their looks. Stunt doubles and anonymous dancers will be hired for pennies to serve as the skeleton and wear the faces of deceased stars, or digital stars that don't even exist in the real world and were generated from scratch so they don't have labor rights. And the most ironic part is that you're eating popcorn while watching it happen. But cloning a face is just the visual magic trick. Do you think Sony Music invested $155 million in this movie just to generate nostalgia? How adorable. They did it to pave the way for what comes next, the phonographic resurrection of an artist who hasn't breathed for nearly 2 decades. Everything started getting serious back in 2023, when director Peter Jackson helped the Beatles release the song, Now and Then. Paul McCartney had an old cassette tape recorded by John Lennon in the 70s. The audio had hiss, piano thumping in the background, terrible quality. Engineers tried to clean that up for decades and failed, until they trained an AI called machine audio learning to help you understand how absurd this is. It's the equivalent of me giving you a chocolate cake that's already been baked and asking you to extract only the raw eggs back out, without touching the flour. The AI did that. It extracted John Lennon's clean, crystal clear voice from the middle of the noise. If we're not careful, the technology can probably already isolate the sound of my editor's dignity going down the drain every time he looks at his bank balance. But that's still in beta. Now apply that technology to Sony Music's vault. There are hundreds of Michael Jackson tapes recorded in hotel rooms, humming melodies while tapping his leg, discarded recordings full of noise. What was trash in the 90s is pure gold today. Artificial intelligence can separate the breathing, the timbre, and the famous from any moldy tape. But why stop at old tapes? Remember that fake Drake and The Weeknd song that went viral on TikTok a few years ago, created by an anonymous user named Ghostwriter. In 2026, AI audio models don't need an old recording to launch a new song. They know exactly how Michael breathed between syllables, how his vibrato sounded when he hit high notes, and how his voice broke with emotion. Probably even how he sounded singing in the bathroom. Sony, which bought half of Michael's music catalog for over $600 million back in 2024, didn't do that to sell old CDs. They need a return on investment. And what's the best way to get that? By generating unreleased content. Just put a talented studio singer in the booth to record a new melody. Apply the trained voice model over it like an Instagram filter for vocal cords, and out comes a new #1 hit on the global charts. No exhausting tours, delays, or scandals. For a music industry that only thinks about profit, a dead artist who has been digitized is the perfect asset. He is 100% controllable. Digital Michael will sing exactly what the label tells him to, collaborate with the artists of the moment, and release Christmas albums without charging an extra cent, because his voice is now intellectual property belonging to a board of directors in suits. Soon, the Billboard list will be dominated by whoever has the best AI creating the best nostalgia. Warner, Suno, I know what you're up to. And speaking of nostalgia, let's go back to 2014 at the Billboard Music Awards. That moment when they put a hologram of Michael Jackson on stage to dance to the song Slave to the Rhythm. The audience cried with emotion, the internet flipped out, but the truth is that was a joke compared to what's coming. What you saw there wasn't a real 3D hologram. It was a 19th century optical illusion called Pepper's Ghost. The same cheap mirror trick that amusement parks use in haunted houses. Funny, I think I've seen that same trick used in Japan for Vocaloid concerts. But the suits learned their lesson. They observed the massive and more recent success of the ABBA Voyage show in London, where the members of the Swedish band became digital avatars performing in an arena built specifically to hide the lighting tricks. That proved one thing: people are willing to pay the price of a real concert ticket to applaud digital models. And now with the biopic hype injecting the Michael Jackson brand into the veins of a new generation, the stage is set for the final act. The music industry realized that touring in the physical world is risky. Trucks break down, storms cancel shows, equipment fails, security is a logistical nightmare. In augmented reality, the profit margin is nearly infinite. Sony doesn't need to rent Madison Square Garden and sell only 20,000 tickets. They can sell 20 million tickets all in the front row. The spectacle doesn't happen in New York, it happens on your living room coffee table. Using your augmented reality headset, the algorithm maps your home furniture, and suddenly the living room floor transforms into the iconic Super Bowl stage. Volumetric capture allows you to get up from the couch, walk around digital Michael Jackson while he does the moonwalk, and see the glint of the sequins on his jacket reacting to your ceiling light. People will pay for the virtual ticket, exclusive digital jackets to wear during the concert, and a premium subscription just for the right to hear every without ad interruptions. If you survived this reality check about the future of entertainment, I officially declare you smarter than 99% of the internet watching fruit-themed nonsense. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos, and share this to help the channel grow. Until then, I'll be dancing with Mike in my own virtual reality.